Welcome back. Okay. Um, like I said the other day, I'll be coming online as often as I can to say one or two things to folks. But I'm glad to be up today again. I hope everything is looking good. Yeah, I hope everything is looking good. Yeah, I gotta put I gotta connect okay. I hope my speaker is good out there, and I hope everybody's hearing I hope you guys can hear my voice. That's true, mic. Okay, today I'm going to talk about something that divides the community. I'm going to talk about 50-50. Because I kind of see that when men say 50-50, women get confused about it. And some of us, some men don't also know the meaning of 50-50. I don't think folks know they understand the meaning of 50-50. 50-50 is not financial. For those that I would say come from certain families or understand the word 50-50, 50-50 is not financial. 50-50 is duty. And also it can be financial, but not strictly financial. Meaning that when you come into a house or a family, I don't think there is supposed to be a formula on how to pay rent or mortgage. It can be structured in a way that the man can pay most of the mortgage all the time. Maybe there come a time when the woman has to, give her weight in paying the mortgage. That doesn't mean she will pay it all the time, but mortgage and certain bills fall under the man most time, which everybody understands. But when we say 50-50, 50-50 spreads around. It can do with duty of the house, cleaning the house, taking care of kids, contribution to the household. So you can contribute in the household as a woman 80% towards making sure that the kids are well behaved, everybody's doing the right thing in the house. The father, when he comes home, is not overwhelmed by the activities of the house. Those are part of the 50-50 we talk about. Duty to family is your contribution to the family as a whole, as a woman, can be 50-50. The man is contributing mostly on the financial side, and the mom is contributing mostly on the upkeep of the house to relieve pressure on the man himself. So let me explain why people do get married. You see, when we get married as a bachelor, right? When you are a bachelor as a man, you don't have that many. You don't even have a help. You're technically doing everything at 100%. So that is why when I sit down and talk to both men and women, I told them that you can't reach your potential until you have somebody that helps you. So this is the reason why men, the way nature has planned it, will go into the world and get him a wife. So when he brings a wife, what a wife will do basically is to relieve him of the domestic stress, so he can get a time to go out there and pursue livelihood, expand the empire, get other things get his business running, get things to get done, and also make sure that there are finances in the household that comes to the household. That's what the man will do. And that's why the man goes out there to get a wife, because a wife is the only person at the beginning of the stage that will relieve him of those stress. So in that case, we need a wife. But if you think that as a man you can go out there and work 8 hours, 12 hours, 16 hours, and then come home to probably do some domestic work, cook for yourself, and then get a meal, probably spend 20 to 40 minutes or sometimes 2 hours cooking yourself a meal, and then expect to then go to sleep and then wake up very early in the morning and take off again, you will die young as a man. You're not going to last because you're going to kill yourself. But the reason why men go and get Help Me is because that Help Me enables them to be able to relieve those stress. You see what I'm saying? Relieve those stress. So when those stress are relieved, he as a man become able to solve those vital things that he needs to do to to make his business a functioning business. That's why that's why men get married. But that aspect of life becomes that 50-50, which means the man is doing what he has to do to earn a living for the family of up to 100%, and the woman is doing what she has to do to keep the house running while the man is out to go get it at up to 100%. So if you take 100% of what each is doing and 100% of what the other one is doing, and you divide it into two, it's 100% of each contribution. So if you look at it, that is technically 50-50, which means you're doing at your 100%, I'm doing at my 100%, right? So it's 50-50. 100% doesn't mean that somebody is paying the bills at 100%. Is paying the bills, like maybe you bring in 50% of the bill to the house, and then the other person is bringing her 50% of the bill, and then she got to contribute 50% to pay the mortgage, and then you have to, or the rent, and then you have to contribute 50%. No. That is not how a man's supposed to function. That is not how life is supposed to function. Somebody got to do some things in the house while the other person is doing it, because number one, it enables things to function in the house because of division of labor. So, and then another thing again that I'm trying to say is this, right? When you look at what do they call it? When you look at, sometimes women will say, oh, single women live longer than married women. That is not true. Maybe that's true in some parts of the world. It's not true to the general public out there, because what happens is that each complements one another. It's not an independent word, it's an interdependent word. Each complements one another. So that's why I like to tell folks, do what you got to do to contribute to the betterment of your family. Do what you got to do to help your wife. Do what you got to do to help your husband. There is no way somebody can live longer or can achieve their potential when they have to do everything in the house, in their life at 100%. That's why you see single mothers go crazy in some cases, because they are doing almost everything at 100%. And then they wish they don't have a child, and then they wish they never had a child for that man. The worst of somebody comes out when they are stressed. That is why it's not good to stress. It's good to have somebody that will relieve certain things off of you and help you to achieve more. So as humans, we're not supposed to be burdened to each other. What we do is that we become sacrificial for one another, whereby you help me to achieve my greater heights, I help you to achieve your greater heights. So the man can function without the woman helping him. That is why we are interdependent. We are not dependent. 50-50 is not financial. So 50-50 is something that has to do with individual contribution to the household, which means one is doing better in this aspect and the other one is doing better in the other aspect. And when brought together, it's 50-50. So I'm going to end right here, and I'm also looking forward to saying more. So what I came to discuss today is the 50-50 confusion, the 50-50 commotion, because technically some men don't understand the word 50-50. They think that 50-50 means that a man and a woman have to pay bills together at 50-50. No, that is not what 50-50 is. And then some women think that 50-50 means that they have to contribute equal to the house when it comes to payment and financial contribution. No, that's not what 50-50 is. Yes, it can be 50-50 if both of you decide to take up a mortgage that is above your means, or maybe in the means of one person's contribution. Now you can then help out to pay towards the mortgage, because this is where some people get confused and say, like I would say, some men get confused and say, oh, I want her to contribute 50-50. No, she shouldn't contribute 50-50 financially if you can afford to pay the whole mortgage at 100% and still be fine at the end of the month. Because her money is not her money. You also have to stipulate this before you get married to a woman. Make her to understand that her money is community money, which means her money belongs to the family. She can spend and buy what she wants to buy. That's fine. But when those bills come due, she has to contribute. I don't have a problem with a woman, keeping her money, but she has to contribute. But these are discussions that you guys have to have, because the problem that we do have when we get into marriage or relation, that's when we get in. I don't talk about boyfriend and girlfriend; those are not relationships. So when you become married, before you become married, one thing is that we don't have the most critical conversation. We approach marriage through sex. We first get exposed to sex, we get excited, and then the critical aspect that we're supposed to discuss, we don't discuss it, which is the most vital aspect of any relationship, is to discuss individual contribution, number one. Number two, you have to discuss what role each of you will play in that family. And approaching it through sex becomes detrimental, because when individual character becomes a problem or begins to display, we have an issue. But we're not supposed to have that issue if we had discussed this before marriage. Because if you had have that discussion before marriage, it wouldn't have been a problem. You would have been able to discuss your delegation of activities in the family, discuss budget, which is the most important thing. Because the reason why I'm saying this is that the most consequential decision a man and a woman will make in their lifetime is who they get married to. Because who you get married to can change the course of your life for many years to come. It's a long term. The reason why I say it's a long term is that short term is anything between 3 and 9 months is short term. Intermediate is anything between 1 year and 3 years. Long term is anything above 3 years is long term. So if you get into a marriage and whereby there is a reproduction or procreation, this is a long term thing. But getting into marriage alone is a determination of long term project. So if you're going to get involved into something that will shape the course of your life for a very long time, up until death, you have to have conversations first before you embark on such a project like marriage. You discuss, number one, individual contribution to the household. That's the most critical thing. That's why it's number one, individual contribution to the household. Number two, budget of wedding. You discuss how much are you guys going to budget for your wedding, or you don't even do high budget wedding. You can do low budget wedding, which means anywhere from 5 to probably 50 people are invited to that wedding. Okay. Number three, you have to discuss, because this is another critical thing. Where are you guys going to live? And how many bedrooms will you start with? And what is the budget of that, of the rent? Then number four, you discuss about your children. Which kind of school are they going to go to? Are they going to go to private school? Private school means that you can live, you can actually be more flexible on the neighborhood or maybe the zip code that you live in. But public school, now you're going to have to discuss a high income area that will require you to pay a high tax, because the tax, property tax, goes towards your school. That goes towards the government school. So these are the things you have, these are the discussions you have to have as you're getting into that marriage, before you even go into that marriage. Then discuss number of kids to have. Then discuss when you have to move, because this is another thing again. When you have to move to that neighborhood, what is the budget for the mortgage? Because when you have that conversation, then when you have the conversation of the budget of where you're going to live, and the budget of the house, and the size of the house, and also the location of your residency, that will determine individual financial contribution. That is where women get that problem of 50-50. But she cannot get away or hop out of 50-50 if she's looking for a high budget residency. Which means if she wants to do a high income area, she has to then say, okay, if you're going to pay $5,000 a month towards the mortgage, I'm going to bring $2,000 to $3,000 more, because I want us to live in certain zip code. She has to contribute because she wants a high income area. Because the man first will discuss what his budget can be for the mortgage. But if she said, no, I don't want my kids, I don't want me and my kids and you to be in this neighborhood because of this or that, because of the school system, and she said, okay, let's go to a higher income neighborhood. Now she has to start discussing how much contribution financially she has to bring into the house. Is she going to contribute 1,000? Because at that 5,000 mark that the man is going to bring to the mortgage, everything above that has to come from her. So she has to supplement that budget every month, forever. So she has to know that. So this is where the confusion, gets eliminated. Okay. Then, cars. How many cars are we going to have in the house? Are we doing any car notes, or we buying, out of pocket? It all depends on budget. Lifestyle. What kind of lifestyle are we going to live? Okay, in that lifestyle, what is our contribution towards that lifestyle? How many times does she want the family to take a vacation? In a year. If she want a high vacation, if she want a high budget vacation that the man can really finance, then how much is she contributing towards that vacation? So these are the conversations that have to be had. And at the end of the day, that's how these things can make it possible for women to understand budget. Understand that when 50-50 is being discussed, it's discussed because certain lifestyle, certain location of residency will make her to bring her income into the fold. Then, when it comes to household, maybe daycare, maybe a residency where you guys, no daycare, okay, you have to discuss that. Is she going to work less to take care of the kids at home in order to relieve you as a man to work more? Those are vital discussions. Or if she's going to be a stay-at-home mom. But another thing is, especially this current generation in the female side think that stay-at-home mom means that she's just going to put her legs, cross her leg and watch television all day. No, that is not stay-at-home mom. Stay-at-home mom means you have to do the job 100%. That's why men have to have these discussions with women, because when you don't have that discussion with a woman, guess what? There is going to be confusion. In some cases, she knows what it is. She knows that she's supposed to do the work 100%, but she's trying to test the water, and then it becomes a problem. Because you got to understand that humans are not really dumb. Humans only think about what they can get away with. We always pretend like we don't know so that we can see what we can get away with. But when the leg is held to the fire, that becomes a problem. So that is why these discussions are made. And also, the man can be flexible with his schedule. It depends on the kind of job he has. The woman can be flexible with her schedule. If she has a certain job, in order to maintain the quality of kids that you guys have to produce or you guys have to bring up. Because this is why I'm saying this. Daycare is good. It's good to have your kids in daycare. It's good to take your kids to daycare. But I got to say this to you. As much as daycare is good, one of you have to stay at home at certain time. Both of you cannot leave your kids in daycare for a long period of time. Somebody is raising your child. That is why a lot of kids today are messed up, because their parents are nowhere to be found. When you start putting money above character, that is bad. You cannot put money above your future generation, above your legacy. Yes, money is what you need to raise kids, but you can also cut your coat according to your size. You can cut your cost of living. You can cut your cost of your lifestyle. The reason why a lot of people have other people raising their kids is because they want to maintain certain lifestyle. You can live in a neighborhood where you pay $10,000 in mortgage, but just a little bit across town, you can as well pay $5,000 in mortgage for the same house. And you saving $5,000 a month, and you're saving $60,000 a year just by moving 20 to 30 miles away. And some people said, oh, I'm just saying it. I've lived in Dallas for 20-something years, and I know what I'm talking about. You got to cut your coat according to your size. Somebody else raising your kids are not good thing to do. It's not good to have somebody else raising your child. You have to raise your child yourself. You cannot delegate that to somebody else. Because when you have somebody else raising your kids in the daytime and you have to just talk to your kids a little bit and then they go to sleep, these kids become confused. So please, as parents, live according to your size. 50-50 is not a financial contribution only. It's individual contribution to the family. Thank you so much, guys, and I'm looking forward to talking tomorrow. I might be back here tomorrow if I have anything to talk about. Other than that, you just watch out for me over the week. I'll come back over the week or maybe by the weekend and spill something to you guys. I just like to have these conversations because I know that is what keeps us as families going. So thank you guys and have a good day. Bye-bye.